This budget's been a grave disappointment for Territorians. Apart from some welcome money for renal dialysis for remote Aboriginal communities, which will benefit Aboriginal people substantially, there's not a lot in this budget for us. In fact, what it does is hurt us. The Prime Minister tells us he's going to spend all this money on roads, $100 million on the Buchanan, $180 million on the Central Arnhem Highway. We won't see any real money from that, not in this Parliament, not the next Parliament, but the Parliament after, 5 years' time. What's he trying to tell us?
It's all smoke and mirrors, this budget. The money isn't there, and certainly for the people who are on CDP, 33,000 people across the country, most Indigenous, certainly in the Northern Territory, there is no pathway out of entrenched poverty and disadvantage in this budget for those who desperately need it.
And from Central Australia all the way through to the top end, they've cut our school funding, $70 million in the next 2 years alone. Add to that the cuts to running our public hospitals, $16 million cut there. CDU's been cut, $15 million. These cuts aren't helpful. You can only depend on Labor to properly fund these services. And for Darwin, there's no city deal. There's no funding for the city deal. This budget is an absolute disappointment.
There's been a cuts in funding for Aboriginal housing in the Northern Territory. This is a budget for the top end of town. Malcolm Turnbull doesn't care about Territorians.